Hello everyone. This question is one of the more complicated questions on the shape and space, where you have to do quite a bit of thinking before you can start the question proper. I'll give you a minute to read it and then we'll discuss it. Okay, well, if the surface area of the box is 150 square feet, well, the surface area are all the sides of the box, and altogether there are 6 sides to the cube. Because it's cubic, these panels are all squares. So we have 6 squares needs to equal 150 square feet. So 1 square will equal 150 divided by 6, which is 25 square feet. So the side length must be the square root of 25, which is 5 feet. Okay, so if the side length of the square is 5 feet, then so too is the diameter of the cone, and so too is the height of the cone from top to bottom, because it touches all the surfaces. So the diameter of the cone is 5 feet, so the radius must equal 2.5 feet. And the height of the cone goes from the base to the very top, so the height is 5 feet. The volume of the cone is 1/3 times the base area, which is pi r squared, times the height, which is 1/3 times pi times 2.5 squared multiplied by 5. So 1/3 times by pi times by 2.5 squared times by 5. 32.725. 32.725 cubic feet. The second part of the question is more interesting. What proportion of this cubic box which just packs this cone is empty? In other words, what proportion of it is not occupied by the cone? Well, we know the volume of the cone, so what is the volume of the box? Well, the box is simply a cube of side 5 feet. So the box volume is just 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125 cubic feet. If the cone is 32.725, then the empty space must be 125 minus that, and 125 minus 32.725 is 92.275. 92.275. If we work that out as a fraction of the volume of the whole box, it clearly looks in the order of 3/4, and when we actually calculate that, it is indeed 0.738, or in other words 73.8% of the volume is just empty space. So again, the mechanics of the question, once you actually start answering it, is straightforward. The hardest part is to unpack the problem clearly and make sure you know what the parameters are and what the broad strokes are for your solution. Thank you.